There are photographs, and then there's this. August 4th, 1990. Calvine, Scotland. 2 men, 6 photos. A diamond-shaped craft hovering above the Highlands, silent, metallic, perfect. A Royal Air Force jet circles beneath it like an insect trapped in a god's reflection. Hours later, the negatives vanish. The men disappear. And the Ministry of Defense buries the evidence, locked until the year 2076. They said it was nothing, but this was the clearest UFO photo ever taken. And the secret Britain tried to erase from history. Today, we dive into the Calvine UFO Photograph. Scene 1. The night the sky stopped moving. Calvine, Scotland, 9 p.m. The air turned heavy. Wind froze mid-breath. Then, the world went silent. From the mist, a diamond-shaped craft emerged, smooth, seamless, and impossibly still. No lights, no sound, just a metallic presence hanging in the dying glow of sunset, reflecting the hills like liquid silver. The 2 hikers stared upward, unable to move. Then, a scream of jet engines ripped through the silence. An RAF Harrier circling the object, like prey circling a predator. One man whispered, "That's not from here." The other raised his camera. 6 clicks, 6 flashes of proof. Then, without a sound, the craft shot vertically into the clouds, vanishing as if reality had swallowed it whole. Scene 2. The photo that never came back. They rushed to a local newspaper, trembling, exhilarated, terrified. The editor stared at the negatives in disbelief. This was history, the shot the world had been waiting for. He called the Ministry of Defense. That was his mistake. Within hours, unmarked cars arrived. The men in suits were polite, efficient, cold. They took the negatives for analysis. They promised to return them. They never did. Soon after, the witnesses were told to stay silent for national security reasons. The paper was threatened under the Official Secrets Act. And inside the MOD, whispers spread of a massive enlargement. Hung in a restricted room known only as Room 50. The photo, they said, showed a Harrier jet circling a metallic diamond. Nick Pope, a government investigator, later admitted it was solid, structured, absolutely real. But to the public, the ministry said, there's nothing to see. The file was stamped, classified. Release date, 2076. 86 years of silence. Ask yourself, what kind of truth needs that long to die? Scene 3. The return of the forbidden image. For 30 years, the Calvine photo was a legend, a rumor, a ghost story whispered between researchers and skeptics alike. Then, 2022, a retired RAF press officer named Craig Lindsay stepped forward. Before handing the originals to the MOD decades earlier, he'd quietly kept one print, hiding, waiting. And as his life neared its end, he slipped that image into an archive where it was finally discovered. After 30 years of denial, the forbidden image resurfaced. A diamond craft, a Harrier below. No blur, no distortion, no strings. Just the impossible caught in crystal clarity. The myth had a face, and it was terrifyingly real. Scene 4. Anatomy of the Impossible. Experts tore it apart. Lighting matched the landscape. Jet angle confirmed by physics shadow. No signs of manipulation. One analyst whispered, "If this is fake, it's beyond 1990 technology." Theories spiraled. Extraterrestrial craft. Anti-gravity propulsion. No sonic boom. No exhaust. Black Project prototype. Aurora. TR-3B. Secret US tech. But no match. No record. Elaborate hoax. Yet the reflections in the water proved real mass and distance. Cover-up. Not because it was nothing, but because it was too much. Scene 5. The Erased Men. The hikers' names were never revealed. Not in census records, not in any archive. It's as if they never existed. Nick Pope himself said, "I was told never speak of Calvine again." Today, one photograph survives, faded but unbroken. 5 others remain sealed inside ministry vaults. Why hide what isn't there? Why erase witnesses if it was just sky and shadow? Maybe Calvine wasn't random. Maybe it was a message, a demonstration, a quiet reminder that the sky above us was never ours. They are not coming. They have always been here. The clearest UFO photo ever taken, or the most successful cover-up in British history. Either way, we're not waiting for disclosure anymore. We're living in its shadow. Classified until 2076.